Hi there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. Today we are going to make a fall inspired flower arrangement. Welcome to Floral Fridays. And this may just be our last summer flowering flowers to use in arrangements. And then we will be moving into pumpkin season, which is a whole different vibe. But I'm getting like that autumn fall vibe thing happening. The energy is ramping up and I'm excited about it. And I just want to use what we have in our garden today to really inspire those warmer, cozy, sweater weather kind of aesthetic to get me even more energized about pumpkin season. We are getting ready to remove all of our annuals and put away all of the summer decor and start decorating for autumn. We're about a week away from autumn equinox, so I'm jumping the gun just a little bit, but I think that this will just inspire me, and I hope it inspires you as well. We have lots of pink flowers still blooming, but I'm going to avoid pink. We will go dark, moody magenta or black flowers. We will avoid the bright sunny yellow, even though yellow has a place in, some yellows have a place. We might use some black-eyed Susans because that has like that sunflower vibe, which is like end of summer, early autumn feel. But we're really going to be concentrated on like the oranges and the peaches and the like fall colors. I've got this beautiful vintage pitcher that I want to use, a glass pitcher that I've had for years. My mom gave it to me, that we're going to use for the flower arrangement. I've got some floral preservative that I got at like some grocery store flower thing. I just save all these extra packets because a lot of times I'll buy like multiple flowers in little bundles at the grocery store to make flower arrangements, and I really only need one packet for the arrangement that I make, and then I have like 3 or 4 extra little packets from all the different bundles, so I just save them for my home flower arrangements. And then I've got a bucket here full of water for collecting all of our flowers that we picked today. So I'm just going to go around the garden and pick some flowers and some foliage, and then we'll come in and make them all cozy together. I will, as I'm picking these, just go ahead and strip the leaves in the field so I don't have to deal with it later. This one. All right, I think we've got a good collection of flowers here and a couple of plants. I'm actually going to set my bucket off to the side and just kind of gather as we go, so I have room to make this arrangement. And since this arrangement is actually going to be seen from multiple sides of where it's going to get placed, I want to make sure that all the way around looks fairly even. And what I'm going to do is, I've got pine needles everywhere this time of year. I want to start with the leaves to give it the bulk of the structure, which I just grabbed a few rainbow chard leaves. Are these rainbow? No, these are some other kind of chard. I don't know. They've got these beautiful dark stems. I'm going to do one more cut on all the plants just to make sure they have fresh cuts going in. And I just have 3 of these leaves, them to be relatively the same height. They're such large, bold leaves that we don't really need more than that. And so this is going to just kind of create the middle of the structure. Now, if this was one-sided, I could just do something like this, right? But because I want it to be seen from all sides, I'm going to just create this sort of middle piece. The other thing that I know I'm going to want is the amaranth to drape. So I'm going to grab those next. So this is the Dreadhead Amaranth. And I really just want to have this drapey effect. Set these off to the side as well. Okay. And it's okay that they just kind of rest on the table. I'm fine with that. But what I don't want is for these pieces of the flower to be underwater. So we're just gonna make sure that that doesn't happen. I'm also leaving some of these leaves on here because I like that it has this kind of fall, autumn turning of the leaves. But like this one where it's really kind of yucky looking, I don't want that. I don't want to look at that. Or this one. It's just a little too far gone. But these ones just kind of have that autumn effect. I'm just gonna, I do want them to be pretty low. Like this. Okay. I'm just gonna have these go all the way around evenly. And this one. And I do have more of those if I decide that I need more, but we've just got 4 all the way around, like so. Okay. And now I want to come in with my really big, bold flowers. And right now my boldest, biggest, bulkiest ones are the zinnias. And I'm going to let these be pretty tall. So just going to take off a little tiny bit and put them in here We can move them around a little bit as we play. And then I've just got this one really beautiful dahlia. Oops. Okay. And this one's gonna have to go in the front because it's so small, or you know, in one of the front sides. Okay, then we have okay, let's do these zinnias. Even though they're not as big, they're still a nice bulk kind of flower. This one is a little bit more peachy. This one's a little bit more yellow. And I am leaving a little bit of the foliage on the zinnias just to give us a different green texture. So long as they're not, oh, this one, as long as they're not in the water, we can leave the leaves on there. Okay. Oops. Okay. This one over here. Now the rest of those are pretty short, so I'm gonna wait and add them in later. This one is a little bit taller. Okay, this one's a little bit taller. And take these leaves off. Okay. This one is a tall one, tall ones. Just put this right in the middle. Does that look? No. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna work on some of the taller ones just to kind of give us that structure. So we've got this guy, which is, this is one stem and then this is the branch. So I can use this lower branch to create some height. And I think I would like to do that. It's just gonna be sitting kind of funky. So, oops. If I put it in this way, it's gonna stick way out here. But if I put it in, knowing that there's an angle on it, and I can kind of sneak it in there, then we can get it to kind of be where we want it to be, like that. Okay, and then this one. The rest of those are kind of short. So now I'm gonna go work in a couple of these weird wonky snapdragons. See how it's growing all strange? These are nice to have kind of draping over the side. I just cut it and let it drape over the side, but I want it kind of close to the edge. I don't want this one to have a lot of outside bulk. So just do this so it kind of hugs the glass. And if there's any more of those, just These ones have a little bit of pink in them, but they also have this beautiful orangey yellow sunset color. So I think it pulls things together nicely. And the other thing we can do with these charred leaves, if we find that they're splaying out too much, is I could actually put a little rubber band or string and just hold them in there a little tighter after, if I get to the end and I feel like I still need a little bit more structure. Then we've got this dahlia that I think reflects this snapdragon beautifully. And since we have 3 here, I'm gonna move this one to the back side here and just bring it in, bring that color in a little. This one can also kind of hug the edge. This one's a little shorty, so I think it'll be fun to have it just sort of, and it also is shaped weird. We need some of that color back here. This is a nice big bold one that we can put right there, I think. And we've got this yellow, this shorter yellow one, nice here. Oops. Feel like I'm gonna bring some of this orange in right here. And it's really short, so we have to just be careful. That's really beautiful, just to kind of bring that orange in there. Like there's something missing right here. We also have these sedums, which have a nice bulky presence, which might be really nice right there. So, yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay. And let's see. I want this kind of bolder one over here, I think. That's good. Maybe another sedum up here. It's pretty. Okay. I'll just keep that's pretty. Okay. And I'm just like, I feel like I need something right here. getting a little two-sided, so we'll just keep working on something right there. Texture in here, like that. Okay. Let's see, need a little bit more yellow right there. And these guys. That's the other thing, is I like having this green come through here, so I'm just going to poke a hole through this leaf and have this flower right in here. These guys also have a couple more of these. These aren't looking the best, but I wonder if I could just kind of sneak that color in here and there. That's another trick, is if you've got some that aren't looking gorgeous, you can kind of just use them to add the color. They won't last as long on the vase, but they will give you that little color reference that you might be looking for. All right, I feel like I need one of these back here. That's nice. And I've got these two really short orangey yellow ones. So let's just take a look and see where we can, missing maybe this right here. That's cute. Okay. And maybe this yellow up here. There we go. Nice. All right. I also have these sweet little dianthus. I'm gonna put them together. They smell so good, and really the only things that smell good in this whole arrangement. So I think I'm just gonna sneak them in right here. Just give you a little pop. And now I can decide. I've got another one of these. That doesn't look great, so that doesn't look good. I can decide if I want to add this. I think that's what's gonna really make it fall. So I'm just gonna do that and just go all the way around and try to add this little bit of bright yellow. The other nice thing about using these kind of as a floral frog, still ensuring that the stem gets into the water, but I can also use it to help the flower kind of stand up a little bit more. I feel like I want something right there. Maybe we can just tuck this guy right in there. Okay. And I think we're just gonna see see if adding this light one is giving it a little extra brightness to the arrangement. Right here. Tuck it in there a little bit more. Tuck it in there nice and tight, I think. Okay. Beautiful. Right, the rest of this, we have one other little piece of chard, which could be fun to just sort of add a little greenery. No. In here a little bit. Just kind of tuck it in there to bring a little bit of that green down in. And I kind of feel like these are still a little too tall, so I'm gonna take these out now that everything's done. I like the placement, I just want them to be a little bit shorter. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Where's this? This thing. Okay. All right. And I forgot to put the floral food in there. Why didn't you tell me? It's fine. Add it in now. Okay. So, if that happens, we just take it, oh see, and then this gives me an opportunity to see if there's anything that I missed the vase, because that happens when you have these full vases. We just pull this whole thing up like this. Stir it around a little bit. All right. And we can stick it right back in. Should be perfect. And we'll throw this away. Empty this bucket. It's just water. All this stuff. I think that's really fun. It's just a fun into summer, getting a little moody vibe. The other thing that I like to do when I have something like this amaranth, which is starting to go to seed, is I will put this vase on a pretty platter where I'm gonna place it in my house. So it'll collect the seeds or any dropping petals and not make such a big mess. I'll also do that when I have flowers like these, which can stain different surfaces when the petal drops. If there's any moisture in the air, on the table, or on the plant itself, and it drops, oftentimes it'll leave a stain. So I like to be mindful of that, and where I have it, this is actually going to be going on a glass top table, so I don't worry about the staining so much, but it is easier to collect the seed when it's just on a plate. that's it. That's going to be it for our Floral Friday this week. I hope that you were inspired to just go out in the garden and find the vibe. You know, we could have done a summer vibe still, because I still have a lot of hot pink and bright yellows and you know, whites and light pink, and I could have totally done a summer vibe, but I really wanted to just kind of have that transition, which I feel like this is the magic of the transition. We are like entering into autumn, but we're still enjoying the fruits of our labor, still enjoying the beauty of summer. There's still that summer celebration kind of feel. So I like that it's still like cheery and abundant, but it also is like, ooh, we're going into spooky season. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you're celebrating your life, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.